I'm Richard Garriott de Caillou. I am the co-founder of Portalarium, a small crowd-funded startup out of Austin, Texas. But I actually go back to the beginning of the games industry as a whole, and especially in Austin, Texas. My first company, Origin, was the first gaming company, frankly, in all of the southern United States that is sort of the anchor gaming company for Austin.
And I mean, I'm not trying to inflate your ego here, but you seem very humble about all that.
Well, you know, as proud as I am of those hits and opportunities, we've clearly had our bumps along the road. You know, I nearly put my first company, Origin, out of business by betting on the Apple II when the IBM came out. I've shipped my only two really not successful games were games that I gave into corporate pressure to ship too soon, and it was, really damaged my own career and my reputation amongst users. And so I've had the highs and the lows to hopefully emerge out of it with some level of humility, realizing how fallible I am and our team is and our company is, and but I still love this industry. I work very hard at it, and I have confidence in my own skills and the skills of my team.
You're showing Shroud of the Avatar. For Ultima fans, it's not new. For somebody who's completely new to it, what is Shroud?
Well, first, Shroud of the Avatar, of course, is a role-playing game. It's a medieval fantasy role-playing game. And some of the most popular ones that people might be more familiar with these days are games like World of Warcraft, or a little bit older, EverQuest. And those games, in many ways, actually came after a lot of my work, and so some people compare it one direction. But they actually, there's an area where my games still remain quite different than other role-playing games people might be familiar with. Most role-playing games are games where you fight monsters and level up, and that really is sort of the strategy that's repeated throughout your existence in a lot of these role-playing games. My games are different in that they really are virtual worlds, in the sense of you don't just go there to fight. You go there to build a home. You go there to build businesses. Many of the players never get involved at all in combat. Instead, they get involved in looking for resources and refining those resources and building finished product that they then sell to people who might be going out and fighting, and then bringing back their trophies and building up their own homesteads. Whole towns are built by players. All of the equipment that people use in the game are built by players. Books in the game are written by players. Plays are put on by players. There's even a radio station that is a website that was put up by players, that then a group of players got together to make a 3D modeled radio that we then imported into the game, and they wrote code to simulcast that radio in the game, and we put the code in the game for them. The result of that is not only do people have radios they can listen to this radio station in-game, but they simulcast the plays with real voices, or they do real-time voiceover of the battles in the game in real time on that radio station. And so the community involvement and the life far beyond combat in Shroud of the Avatar, I think, is quite unique amongst role-playing games.
What is it about an RPG and this fully realized world that draws people in? You know, because to a degree, it's happened to me before, where I'd rather be playing the game than, right, the 9 to 5 kind of thing. Especially
for our games. I think one of the reasons why our games have arguably some of the hardest core fans is because of these virtuous parables and alternate and really deep aspects of life that are in the games. I can't tell you how many people I've had come up to me at these shows who go, my games always espouse truth and love and courage. Pretty hard to argue with that those aren't at least good things in life. But of course, it's fiction, but it's well meant, and in fact, it's probably beneficial if you happen to believe in those three things. And I have people coming to me going like, I don't want you to think I'm a freak, but my wife and I met in your games, and we think truth, love, and courage is both beautiful and meaningful, and we had it inscribed inside of our wedding rings, just because we appreciate it at that level, even though we recognize it's a game. And I think that's unique to the games that we create.
Richard, anything else you want to say about the experience, about the game?
Well, since you are from an Austin perspective, and not only, of course, are we very pro-Austin developers, but Austin actually is also a big reason why I was successful. When I first moved here to Austin, Austin is, to me, one of the quintessential high-tech arts towns, and I think the quintessential high-tech art is computer games. And we found that all the rock and roll poster artists in Austin could easily be converted to do pen and ink on a computer. And we had just the right mix of yuppies to help run the business, and nerds to help make the games, and hippie artists to draw the art, and everybody in Austin gets along beautifully. And so that mix, that community that loves and appreciates each other's work, is unique to Austin. So I am thankful that I found myself in Austin, Texas at the beginning of this industry, because I don't think it could have happened any other way.
Richard, thank you very much.
My pleasure.